Hi Queen, it's Melisi Knox Brunson of thequeencode.com, and today I want to talk to you about an issue that's been playing heavily in the media for the past month or so, and it's a story that I know that you've heard of by now, the Trayvon Martin case. And this is a case where a lot of people, really don't want to talk about it. It's been like a landmine in our society, I guess because of all the controversy and drama surrounding it. And I just want to be clear from the outset that this is not a video about guilt or innocence, because we're still waiting for all the facts to surface to determine whether it was murder or self-defense. But one thing we know for certain is that a young man has lost his life. And I think it's wonderful when, as a society, we can come together and march for justice. And it's even better when we can get legislation and laws passed that really prevent situations like this from happening again and again. But when I look at cases like this, and you see cases like this all the time throughout the media, when I look at cases like this, I'm always trying to decipher and trying to understand what's at the root of this situation, because it's so easy to get caught up in the emotional aspect of it. But what's at the root of the situation? I believe the root is the place where you can truly affect the most powerful change. So I'm sitting back looking at this Trayvon Martin case and trying to uncover the root of the situation. And in my book, From Good to Great, on day 27, The Power of Perception, the first paragraph, I say that I strongly believe that wrong perception is the key reason for world wars and strife on this planet. Evil finds an entrance through limited minds that are resistant to change and driven by fear. Evil finds an entrance through limited minds that are resistant to change and driven by fear. And in my opinion, I think that is at the root of this case and so many other cases like this. And when you think of evil, I'm not talking about Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street kind of evil. I'm talking about evil being ignorance in action. Evil being ignorance in action. And that word ignorance, we know that it means not knowing, not understanding, not realizing. And in this situation, it was not realizing that we're different, but not separate. Not realizing that we have different skin color, that we have different hair, different clothes, different mentalities, beliefs, mindsets, but we're not separate. You can't do something to someone else without it coming back to you. Evil is ignorance in action. So it's easy in a case like this to point a finger and say, oh, that's the bad guy. But I always try to turn the focus inward and look at my own life and say, evil being ignorance in action, is that playing out in my own life? And how is that playing out in my own life? I remember years ago, I had a health scare because, and that the underlying issue of it was I was holding so many grudges to different people in my life, feeling like they had done things to me that I couldn't let go of. And as I began to heal myself, what I realized is that there's no way that I could hold them back or hold them hostage to what they did and move forward at the same time. Because whatever I do to them, I'm really just doing it to myself. Why? Because we are one. We're different, but we're not separate. So again, it's easy to point to other people and say, oh, that's the bad guy. But the underlying issue of this case, evil being ignorance in action, thinking that just because we're different that we're separate, thinking that you can have an argument with a loved one, you say hurtful words, do hurtful things, and thinking that you can just walk off and it's not going to affect you. That to me is true evil. So that's what I wanted to really bring attention to about with this case. It's so easy to get caught up in the emotional aspect, but it's also very powerful whenever we can look at something like this, find the underlying issue, and then try to see how that plays out in our own life. Because compassion is the thing that's really going to take us to a level where we're not seeing so many cases like this in the media. Compassion, being able to look in the eyes of someone different and knowing that just because they're different, that you're not separate from them, that we're really all one. So that's my message for you this week, Queen. And in the meantime, I want you to go to my website at www.thequeencode.com, and I have a free gift for you there, free audio. Queen, you were born to succeed, because you absolutely were. So go pick up that free audio, www.thequeencode.com, and I'll talk to you soon.